Damon here with NLP Gem. You don't need to walk on fire. You also don't need to walk on broken glass or break boards, which has, ever since Tony Robbins did the Firewalk, it seems like a lot of these retreats, a lot of these workshops or trainings now want to include some sort of miracle that brings people in, and it's pretty cool, I have to admit. And I've never done it. I've never firewalked. I've never walked on broken glass. I have broken boards before, but it wasn't at a training session, and it wasn't to build confidence. You don't need to do these things. If you feel like you do need to do these things, and I've met plenty of people who do, and I'm not taking anything away from these trainings. I'm not taking anything away from Tony Robbins. He was the originator. But if you feel like you need to do these things, go ahead and do it. If you have the money, go do it. You're better off doing it than doing nothing at all. Just know that you don't have to do these things. These things do not create the transformation in your life. One thing I've noticed, I've talked to a lot of people who have done the Firewalk or walked on broken glass, and they will go on and on about what a wonderful experience it was. So they got something out of it. I also know a woman who burned her feet at a Tony Robbins Firewalk, and she still raved about it and said nothing but great things about it. The thing that I find as I talk to these people, they haven't really been able to bring this into their everyday life and use this. It's sort of like whatever they experienced happened in this training or this workshop, and it stayed there. They weren't able to bring it back and generalize it or integrate it into their everyday life. Transformation is really about awakening to new levels of awareness and building in qualities within yourself, taking what's already there, which is your life experiences, and then coding them in such a way that gives you the feedback that lets you know you are a certain way. And doing that doesn't necessarily take tears. It doesn't necessarily take demonstrating so-called miracles to do that. It really is a matter of just recoding your experiences. And I used to think that, because I had experienced a few transformations before I started training in NLP, and some of them involved a lot of crying, some of it involved laughter, and I thought, well, these things had to happen for it to be a real transformation. And there were times where I did have transformations where it was just sort of like an aha, and those things didn't happen. So I really questioned whether or not it was a real transformation. So again, if you feel like you need to do those things, go ahead and do them. But if you find that you go and you try it, and then you go back to your everyday life and you still have all the same problems and you haven't resolved anything and the world still looks the same, probably it was just one of those isolated experiences. Real transformation, as I've experienced it, because you change so dramatically, the world around you actually appears to change. And that can be actually like the physical appearance of the world around you appears to have changed, or your perspective is so different that you notice things that you didn't notice before. So the point of transformation, and I think most of the people that teach these trainings and workshops where you do these different activities would agree, the purpose of it is not to walk on fire. It's not to walk on broken glass and break boards. The purpose of it is to change your life. The purpose of it is to become a better you and take that back into your everyday life. So you change your everyday life. When you really go through a transformation, when it's real, you really can't go home, because home is not where you live necessarily. Home is you. And we seek these outside comforts, and a lot of times that's what we identify as home. It's the place where we can rest and feel comfortable. But true home is within yourself, and being comfortable with who you are, and not needing to seek out comforts. Comforts are great. I'm not saying anything against them. I'm not saying you need to get rid of all your comforts. But you don't need those things as much when you're truly comfortable with who you are. And that, to me, is the point of transformation. And that's why I don't do the firewalks and all the other stuff. I don't think it's necessary. to me, it's more about entertainment. It's more about trying to demonstrate something. And I wonder sometimes about, people come to my workshops, do they feel cheated because we didn't do something like these miraculous activities? But I think the proof is in when you go back to your home and what changes do you make, what comes naturally to you that's different. As always, check out our website, nlp-gym.com, for all upcoming trainings and new online trainings, and staying tuned to the blog. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get these updates automatically. Take care.